Because I'm live. Chief is live. Yep, that's me, all right. I'm going to let a few people get in here. But if they're not in here pretty quick, then I'll just go ahead and talk my talk. You know what I mean? It is what it is, and it is what it is. Hey, what's happening? That's a left-handed salute to the leftists. That's a right-hand salute to the constitutionalists. I, I've only got like 800 emails asking me, "Hey, Chief, go live again." Why? They just say, "Hey, we want to see you live and know you're okay and know you're well." Yeah, the trolls are doing trolling and they're coming by and doing a lot of scary things. So, you know, they've done a lot of things to David. They've done a lot of things to Patrick. They've done a lot of things to me and a few other people. So these trolls are getting out of hand and they're getting dangerous. They're actually going by and taking videos, pictures, and making threats on social media and doing a lot of crazy things. Anyway, Patrick, News Now Patrick, and Selena Live, whatever, they're basically now on their way up to Seattle to get Nomad. I call him Madman. He's a madman on a mission to expose bad public officials and to give a high five to those that do the deal. You know, really got it going on. Anyway, they're on their way up to get him, and so the funds are limited. I've done my little part, and Patrick's stowed in his few bones, and Nomad's got some righteous bucks. But hey, that's a long way from Oklahoma to Seattle, Washington. You know what I say? P&P News. Well, that's what I'm talking about. The man. Yeah, Mr. Steve. He runs a tight ship. He's a good guy. Uh, he's been on it in quite a while. Got some good content over P&P News. Greetings. Greetings to all. Yep. Anyway, Patrick's said, "Where's Patty Cake?" He's between probably Beaver. He's in the Beaver or left the Beaver, whatever. Anyway, he's somewhere between there and Seattle, Washington. I talked to him a little while ago. Anyway, whatever the thing is, I guess he's getting in some mountainous range or something, because when I talk to him, he's kind of cutting in and out. But he's got some funds donated. He's got some of his own funds, and then what you call them? What do you call it? And then Madman Nomad, he's got some funds. But wow, depending on, especially out west, they got gas that's like $3 a gallon or more. Depends on where you stop. And then they gotta have a motel that's more than a day's drive up. And then they gotta get a couple of motel rooms. They ain't all gonna bunk up in the same room in the same bed. They ain't freaky like that. Anyway, they need some funds, and I'm asking you to donate. I mean, this is not make believe. They're really going on their way, and they got to get Nomad, because when they get Nomad, they can do Washington State, Oregon, may drop down to California, and may expose some bad people down there in California. Anyway, I don't know the exact itinerary, and I think some of it they're going to play by ear, and the people that donate. Hey, News Now, Patrick. Hey, people's asking about what's going on. Tell them what's happening, and post your PayPal account. That way, you know you gotta eat. I know you're pretty thin, and Selena's what do you call it? A nice, healthy girl. Yeah, that's the what I like to say. And you got to eat, and she's got to eat, and Nomad's got to eat, and y'all got to get motels and gas and stuff. So hey, it is what it is. Is what it is. But anyway, they'll be the three amigos. Selena, they're calling her the hard ass Selena, tough as nails. Don't take no crap off of nobody. Don't matter if it's the judge, police, clerk, animal control. She kicks butt. Selena kicks butt. Hey, that's the sun shining in. You know who made the sun? That's God. And he lets the sun shine on the righteous as well as the unrighteous. Or most of us wouldn't get no sun. If God gave us what we deserved, he'd kill us. That's what we deserve. We're all sinners. We all fall short of the glory of God every day. I'm no exception. You're no exception. Hey, we got to get on our hands and knees and ask God to forgive us for our sins and stay right with him. Salvation's a daily thing. People can say what they want to about me. You know, the people that talk to you are the people that talk the most about you because they know a lot about you. And then other people guess on who you are or what's going on with you, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I love all y'all. Love the sinner, hate the sin. But sometimes corrective action has to be taken against the sinner so they can't hurt you no more and they can't hurt other people. Anyway, a right-handed salute again to the constitutionalist people and a left-handed salute to the leftists. You know, there's a difference in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and I'm not like a real political guy. I don't think I am. I'm kind of like an independent. But just a real quick lesson. The Republican Party stands for the Republic. There you go. Republican Party for the Republic of the Constitutional Republic of the United States of America. On the other hand, the Democratic Party is for a democratic system. And if you go to Wikipedia or wherever else you want to, look up what a constitutional republic says. Then look up what it says a democratic government is. And then you'll understand the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Now, you know, there's the Libertarian Party, Greenhouse, I think it is. And then there's independents and NPA, non-political affiliation. You know, yes, we are a republic. That's a fact, Jack. In fact, if you go and look at the Paris peace treaties, you'll find that we have a treaty with the King of England, and it's for the United States of America, the people, and the representatives. And then there's a church treaty. It was the, I want to say the United Kingdom, but it's probably England. But it was the English Ecclesiastical Sovereignty. It was retitled the American Style Ecclesiastical Sovereignty Treaty, which is the absolute separation of the church and the state. The state can't tell the church what to do and can't organize a religion. However, on the other side, then you have the American style ecclesiastical sovereignty, which is the church. The church is not a building, the church is the people. And so when you look at the church being the people, and we the people uh, created our government, our republican form of government, then you actually begin to see that we the people, which is the church, then the church runs the government de facto, for lack of a better explanation or extrapolation. If the people's the church, that's what's going on. Anyway, I'm a law-abiding man, and I believe in a government being accountable to we the people. It's real simple. If you're a good servant, whether you're the clerk, you're a janitor, you're a cop, you're a judge for any government entity, and you serve the people with dignity and honor and treat people good, I'll back you up all the way to forever, as long as I'm alive. And if you're a bad servant, then I'll make it my life's mission to make the public aware through my news broadcast. I'm a news broadcaster along with everything else nowadays. I broadcast live and pre-recorded material here. So, I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is. Anyway, if y'all get a chance, go by and help out David over at News Now Houston. And then what's the name of his son? Relatives. His relatives channel. Okay? He has a relative that has a channel, Community Watch, I think. I can't remember for sure. But anyway, go support them and help them out over there. And I don't need nothing but your prayers. I'm paying my bills right along, just like always. And I don't need nothing but you to pray for my safety and my family's safety. If you do that, I'm a mile ahead. But News Now Patrick, Selena, and Nomad need some righteous bucks to finish out the trip and then to get back down this way. So they'll hit the west coast, the breadbasket on the way down here. And then when they get here, then we'll do Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. I've got contacts from all my law enforcement in Florida, and I got contacts in Alabama through my law enforcement here. So I know maybe 2 or 3 people in Georgia that are former or retired law enforcement told me some places to go there that we can go in Georgia. And there's several places in the Wiregrass, middle Alabama, and then Florida, Northwest Florida. I got numerous contacts. And when we get down to Central Florida, I've got some, not as many, but some, and then even some in South Florida. So I've actually had people that are in those areas that are cops still on the street, and then some retired, that I know that have said, look, come down and we'll show you around. I mean, we'll show you what being a good cop's about. And I said, well, I don't need nothing that's pre-textual. In other words, if I meet you and you're a good cop and you show us around, then yeah, we know there's good cops, but then it's almost like it's staged, and that's no good. So anyway, I said we might come to the area, and if we get in a jam, I might call you up and say, hey, can you come down? You're a supervisor. Can you come down here But you can't tell your guys we're coming because then they'll act different. So it'll just be a surprise. And oh, there's Teresa, what's her name? Uh, Teresa, I pray for you. You need to get on your medication and stay on it and keep seeing your doctors. Okay? Uh, I'm not going to give your diagnosis, although I know what it is. I'm not going to give it. But you need to stay on your medication, see your doctors, and follow their therapy. Okay? You know? Anyway, I'm asking people, hey, pray for Teresa. She needs it. She talked to me for quite a while over at Leon Valley and had some other contacts with me, and she told me a lot of things about herself and told me about David. And so she had this glorious, glorious report on David, but she was all in love with David. And with her being all in love with David, and because she wouldn't quit her bad behaviors, David had to let her go. You know, when you get a bad fish on your line, sometimes you have to cut it and let it go. So, so we're praying for you, Teresa. Uh, and I'm asking people, pray for her. And these trolls, we need to pray for them. Uh, People trying to call me like madmen. Anyway, you know me, I'm a big talker. I talk, 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 talk. Because that's the way I go. That's the way I roll. Uh, let's see. Yep, we got trolls in here. Some of them are just trolls at large, and some of them are law enforcement people. We've tracked the IPs and done pinging and whatever all else these electronic experts do. But anyway, we know where things are coming from. Why E big for Patrick? Well, I guess I'm going to have to just take a badge of honor and just, I don't like the term e begging. It makes it sound like you're begging to pay your bills, like your electric bill, water bill, food bill, and that's not what's happening. This is asking for donations to go and do news stories because if you're if you're the New York Times or the LA Times or Dallas Morning News, you got sponsors. And those sponsors pay big money, not like 1 cent or a quarter of a cent on a view or whatever. Uh, anyway, the point is that they got lots and lots, millions and millions of dollars. Me, Patrick, Nomad, these other people don't have that kind of money. Uh, yeah, people's asked me, hey, don't you make money on AdSense? Yeah, I think it took me like three months to get to $100, and you can't even get no money, so it took like 3 months. Okay, wow. So my cell phone bill is more than $100 a month. That helps do all this. So, you know, I'm in the hole. So anyway, I look at it as trying to get sponsorship, donations, whatever you want to call it, to help him and Selena to get to Nomad and do all kind of things out on the West Coast and in the Northwest. Work their way through the breadbasket and get back here. So we're talking about 10, maybe 15 days of three of them until they get here, and then it'll be the four of us, and we'll be able to go every different way. So just say if you got some rogue bad cops and you got auditors going this way and that way, uh, it's going to take about a dozen police because they come in two, three, or four to a person. Then let's just say four times four is 16. If they kept four officers per person, it takes 16. If they're a small department, they don't even have 16 officers. So, so let's see. I prayed you would crash in your truck. That's a demon possession, Teresa. A normal human being would not pray for another person to choke to death on food or crash in their automobile or truck or what have you. That's a deranged mind, which just proves what I'm saying. We need to pray for her a lot. Uh, these delusions are getting pretty serious where she's concerned. Uh, yeah, that's sick, but I'm not going to hate on her. I mean, she's got some serious mental issues, and we need to pray for her. In the name and blood of Jesus Christ, please deliver Teresa from these delusions and demonic oppression or possession in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Now, you can like me or not like me. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. Just remember this: the people that love me because of who I am, what I stand for, what I believe in. Okay? Uh, the people that hate me and want to stab me in the heart or do other bad things to me or those around me, those people, come on. They hate me. They loathe me. They tell lies on me. They tell fairy tales on me, make believe. They do all these bad things to me, say things about me that there's no proof of. And then when there's, quote, proof, it's like this here, this much real truth and this much fantasy. So I'll tell you what the old preacher said. He said, let me get a big pot of stew. A big pot. We're talking like what, a gallon or 2 or 3 gallon pot of stew. And he said, I'm only going to put one drop, just one drop of poison in it, stir it around so it's very, very, very heavily diluted, and who will be the first to eat out of this bowl of stew? The point is, if the truth has any taint to it at all, then it's no good for consumption. Because what you're hearing in your ear goes into your brain and you're thinking about it, okay? So if there's any poison in the truth, then it's no good. And see, these trolls, a lot of times they'll take this much truth. So there is truth in what they say. Just like they said I got fired at my chief of police job, that's a fact. That's absolutely, I never denied that. But they don't tell the point that I was reinstated, all back pay and all back benefits, and I come back to work and I retired. So see, if you tell that much truth, but you don't tell the rest of it, it's like lying by omission. You're not telling the whole story. You're telling a cherry-picked part. So, yes, I'm honorably retired. And in fact, when I sent in my bar complaint to the California bar, I sent in proof of all of that. So I filed a complaint on MERB. And so they reviewed it, and basically at this point in time, I'm going to have to move forward with civil action and criminal action against him. And I'm in a process of doing that now. So if you can help Patrick and Selena get to Nomad, and then they can do the audits out on the West Coast, the breadbasket, and then get here to me, and then we do the Four Amigos, the Tri-State, I'd really appreciate it. See? Trolls are always triggered. They just showed the thing with all the hot dog symbols and all that stuff. Back when the hurricane hit in Northwest Florida. I know a lot of people down there, and I contacted the police, helped some people because FEMA had not set up. So I said, if you can give me any money, any donations, or help out in any way, me and my family's going to North Florida. And I've got pictures of some of the people that we met with and we gave food out to. And so one of my thoughts was uh, a hot dog being, that it's got some meat in it. I know, that's a great American thing at baseball games is hot dogs. And people love them. So I thought maybe we could cook several hundred of them and put them inside of the bun and take some condiments and let them fix them on the tailgate of the truck and give them some water and whatever else they needed and taking some first aid kits, etc. So Merv, the leader of the Merv family cult, started in making nasty, horrible comments and videos about me and calling me the right Reverend Hot Dog and all these things and causing enormous damage to me and my church. Anyway, ever since then, people caught on to this thing about hot dogs. Oh, you got any hot dogs? Well, let me tell you what, the men, the women, and the children that hadn't ate in a day or two, that were pretty dang hungry. Uh, by the way, we didn't get hot dogs because we decided that that wasn't going to be the best thing, and people said uh, that uh, they wanted some staples. Some of them wanted beans, they wanted rice, they wanted crackers, they wanted chilies, some canned hams, and all these other things. So I went to the store. I went to a few stores and got all the different supplies and got, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 cases of water, however much I could get. And so we put it in the back of the bed of the truck. And then we went down. And I tell you what, you can say whatever you want to about me, but when I looked in the people's eyes and those little babies that hadn't ate, and we also took uh, powdered milk so it would keep and they could fix milk at it for days and days for the baby, and we got some baby formula and different things. Then these people were some of the most grateful men and women and children on the face of God's green earth. They were very, very happy when we come. 1 or 2 days later, then FEMA got all set up, and then they started giving out food and vouchers and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the point is, those were grateful people. And I had one big donation. That was it. And the man that gave the donation, I told him, hey, I can copy off these receipts where I went and got all this stuff, and I'll send them to you. I said, it'll be about 3, maybe 4 receipts because I went to more than one store, and then I'll send them to you that meet or exceed your donation. And so I felt like I owed it to that man. And he said, no, he knew who I was. He believed in me. And in fact, a few days later, when pictures popped up on Facebook where we had people, probably 8 or 10 people around the truck, which was one of the people, families we helped, then at that point in time, they said, yeah, we could get a group picture. So we did it just to show you we was there. I've got people that I actually gave some cash money to because the ATM machines were down. So all they could do at that particular time was use cash. So I gave people cash, some 5, some 20. One man was in a really, really bad way. All of his food had gone bad. He didn't have a car, blah, blah, blah. And these people I gave money to, I knew. Some of them weren't my friends, but I knew who they were. And I gave them money. So they was able to go buy whatever supplies they could buy. wherever they could go, so people was carpooling 2, 3, or 4, and they'd get whatever non-perishables they could do. Anyway, the people that was there are forever grateful. I guarantee you, if I was anywhere in that area and I had a problem, I got people that would put me up in their home and feed me as long as I wanted, because when they was in a desperate situation, I was there, and one of my subscribers and supporters was there for them. Okay? So, it's a fact. FACT fact. You can believe it, you not believe it, it's irrelevant. It really is. Uh, it's just the way it is. You know, uh, I believe some of those people would be willing to go on video, and I might actually go down there and do a video with some of them and let them tell about it. And I guess our prayers are going to be long suffering for Teresa, because she's still acting out, and she's still unable to control her impulses. So whatever. So you can call me the Right Reverend Hot Dog King. I can't stop you. Uh, but just think about, how do you look in the eyes of America when you make outrageous comments, when you keep making charges that are not true, and people go and do their own research and find out that you're lying? You lose credibility. Okay? The things I say, I can prove in a court of law. Uh, I'm not in a court of law here. This is court of public opinion. Public opinion is worth not even a cup of coffee. Okay? It is what it is. Uh, but please help Patrick, Selena, and Nomad, so they can do what they do, which is what y'all want us to do. You want us to be news organizations. You want us to report. There's in newspapers, there's a sports section, okay? We don't report on sports. There's politics. We report on politics. There is government. We report on government. Uh, we report on laws and what's good laws and bad laws, in our opinion. We do editorials. We do commentaries. We put people on video. So we're news gathering organizations. And, you know, uh, hey, Merv must be in here, or one of his family members, the Merv family cult. They got the Charles Manson family cult. Well, this is the Merv family cult. Can you see all the connections? Hey, go look at Helter Skelter. It's a movie in the 60s, and there's some documentaries. Go look at them, okay? Go look at them and see how Manson, how his mind worked and things he did, and how he got his family cult to go out and do his bidding. But they all went to prison, okay? They said, we're going to arrest everybody, and then we'll let the judge and the court sort it out. Yeah? So then you go and you look at Merv, okay? And then you see what he used to be, what he is now, and what he has evolved into. And you can see his cult followers. And so he plants suggestions into their mind, etc., etc. Okay? And then he sends people out to target individuals. So there is TIs, which is targeted individuals, and that's by a government and black ops groups. Okay? But then there's other targeted individuals that are targeted by a family cult. Okay? And Merb runs the Merb family cult. He's the head of the snake. And so he sends people out to do his bidding. So he's a minister of hate, a minister of control, a minister of narcissism, and so forth and so on. So do yourself a and see this is a lane of traffic. This is where Charles Manson and the family resided. Then you go over here in the next lane and see here's Merb and the Merb family cult, and see how they parallel straight up and down, and how they all extrapolate to the same thing. You see how Charles Manson evolved, then you can see how Merv evolved. And I'd call him John Boy. Uh, his name's John, so I call him John Boy. But anyway, it is, he plays psychological games. Now, think about Ted Bundy. The judge told him, and you can go to YouTube and look it up, at the end of Ted Bundy's trial, where the judge told him, I wish we had met under different circumstances. I would have liked to have you to practice in my court. Okay? He was a legal mind. Okay? Hey, gray dude. And basically, that's Merb, a legal mind, trying to figure out a way to justify criminal and psychotic behavior, but you can't do that. Okay? So, I don't know that Merv killed anybody, and I'm not suggesting he's killed anybody like Ted Bundy. Okay? I'm not suggesting like Charles Manson that he masterminded the killing of anybody. I don't know that. I'm not suggesting it. But I'm saying the behavior. Okay, so you got that gray mind, like Ted Bundy. He was a legal mind. So he thought his legal mind could keep him out of trouble. But he went to jail and he died in prison. Okay? I mean, keep it real now. For real. For real. Now, you look at Merv and see the connections in the legal mind area. Then you see the family cult of the Manson family. Charles Manson was the head of it. Merv's the head of his. And you see how he makes subtle suggestions, subliminal suggestions all the time to the deep mind, and they don't realize what he's suggesting. And all of these things are real, and they're serious. Anyway, help Patrick Roth out and Selena and Nomad. Go to Patrick Roth 60 at yahoo.com. Patrick Roth 60 at yahoo.com and help them. And that should give us 10 to 15 days to scour America news reporting for you all. And I'm mild-mannered, respectful, decent to our servants. And Selena don't take no crap. And then Nomad, he's got his way. And Patrick got his way. So you get a lot of different things coming in. A lot of different things going on at the same time. Now, another thought crosses my mind. Little children, like in the first grade, they'll say, fatso, you're a liar, you're stupid. These are things that little children do. Okay? So look at the way that they act out in the comments they're making. They're little children. And a lot of these people are 40 years old or older, and they're acting like they're 5 or 6 years old. And when they can't get your attention, it's like the little boy grabbing the girl's hair and pulling it because they want your attention. And they don't care how they get your attention, they just want your attention. They're needy, very needy individuals. You know, they're they just got that bad behavior and that bad vibes. Anyway, it is what it is. Please help Patrick out and so forth and so on so they can do this and we can do this. And people tell me, Chief, go at it, go at it, go at it. I will. If you help Patrick in the PayPal where him and Selena and Nomad can get started and then come down here and get me, you should have uh, probably 15 days to 30 days of videos. I mean, a month's worth of knowledge and entertainment that you want. We we listen. This is what you want, and we're giving it to you. Oh wow! See how I triggered the trolls? But they're very predictable. I know exactly what to say to get their childish behavior to come out, which is just me be me. I trigger them because they don't like me and what I stand for. I stand for Jesus Christ. I stand for the underdog. I stand for the people. Okay? And so some of these are cops and they want us to stop. Some of these are people with police unions that, just like David, he more or less proved murder by Houston police of these the Tuttles. I think that was their last name. Uh, so many people call me and email me. Sometimes I get a name or something mixed up, but as soon as I know it, bam, I'll correct myself. So, you know, that the warrants that were given for no knock were null and void, which led to them being murdered, and then also led to them not being triaged and treated. Okay, the Houston police, Houston, we have a problem. We got a serious problem. We got cops that have killed two innocent people. We have just a myriad of issues, and the cops are trying to retire ahead of time. Okay, the chief of police overall in Houston, I think's a good guy overall. Okay, but I did talk to a man who extrapolated how his story changed from here to here to here to here to here. So it was an evolving story, kind of crawfishing or backwarding. Now, there's so much a certain type of culture in the Houston police for years and years and years, to the point that it he's only been on the job, I guess, a couple years. So it's going to take another 1 or 2 or 3 more years to really get this thing under control. So it's the way it is. And have you ever noticed when somebody is well liked and somebody's envious of them, or they don't like that and they want the attention to go to them, how they act out? Just go read all the comments from the beginning to current and look at the names of all the people, okay? And see all the repeated message. They want attention, okay? They're needy. They're deficient psychologically, emotionally. They're needy and they need your attention, okay? Wow, went 44 minutes. So some people will be grateful. Some people say, hey, do these hour-long deals. We want to sit down and watch your conversation, or your news reporting while we have breakfast or lunch or supper, or we're actually going to have a group watch party that's going to come over, and 3 to 5 people, maybe more, will get together and they'll watch a video I've done. And so we love it. Love it. So, you see, children go for the lowest denominator. When they say things like D cup, that's body shaming. Okay? They don't know why I weigh as much as I weigh. They don't know that. and I don't feel obligated to disclose it. But it's called body shaming. It is to shame a man or a woman or a child who weighs more than they think you should. So maybe there's a phobia, fatophobia. I don't know what it is. I'll be like George W. Bush. I'll make up my own words, you know. So, and then when I out them, man, they really go ballistic. Hell, I might just stay on here another hour just to give them their emotional needs. This is feeding their emotional needs. When they trigger out and trigger up and do all these things, maybe I'm giving them a release. Maybe when they take it out on me, they'll feel better about themselves. Okay? They have crazy, crazy, crazy lives. Now, some of these people are on welfare and food stamps. They dropped out of school and they couldn't get a job or keep a job because of their mental issues, and so forth and so on. Now, see, the more I point out, the worse they get. You know. Now, you ever notice David over at News Now Houston? You ever notice him belittle people? No. But people figure out what they can say to make people hate him because they don't like him. They don't like him because he reports on bad public servants. He also does. Uh, he also does reporting on structures and history and so forth. And because he dumped Teresa because she wouldn't change her behavior and wouldn't stay on her medications and wouldn't see the doctors and do various things she needed to do, and he dumped her, she is a woman scorned. And let me tell you what, I've been told from every old man I know, do not piss off a woman. She will be a ball and chain around your leg or around your neck till the day you die. She will create such havoc and such harassment in your workplace, at your church, with your family, yada, yada, yada. Now, David, News Now Houston, he has made some mistakes in his life. But if you ain't made a mistake, you can just go ahead and check in now. And if you've never made a mistake in your life, just put a 1 in there. Just put a 1 in your little comment thing here, a 1 if you've never made a mistake in your life. You've never committed a sin. You're sinless. You are Jesus Christ. Okay? Put a 1. Okay? Now, he's made mistakes. And part of the mistakes he's made is he's made a bad choice for female companions. Okay? He's made a very serious mistake. Some of them have had trouble in their life. He's listened. He's a good listener. He's tried to formulate a way to help them correct their lives. But if he dumps them, they're so freaking attached to him that they act out, and a lot of them make a lot of serious false claims on him. And since about 82, 83, somewhere in there, he started outing bad cops on a federal level, some on state and county, but a lot of federal level. And so they helped him out in 1985 and gave him the hookup. Okay? So things ain't always as they seem. I can write a piece of paper here that says somebody did something, and I can go get a DA to indict somebody and a jury to convict them because maybe I'm this bad cop, and I get these other cops to group up with me, and we all concoct a story, and we all stay on the storyline, and we have our alleged victim. Yes, it is the big hookup. let me tell you. Anyway, you know, it is what it is. Ain't no more and ain't no less. But if you want to see this man here out doing audits in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, you want me to go toe to toe with people and prove that they are good cops out there and prove that there's bad cops, which you seem to know there's bad cops, but I'll show you where there's good cops too, and good cops make mistakes. Bad cops actually do some good things. So it's kind of like the human equation. Go get the atypical population of people. Say there's go pick 20 people. There's going to be some of them that's going to be fantastic people that make mistakes and do some bad things. There's going to be some really bad people that do some good things. You know. Uh, See, they keep making these comments. They want me to knee jerk. They want me to say something or do something bad so they can point it out. You know. And it's on my website, sovereignchurchofjesus.com. But, but, I've made it publicly known over and over. All of my photographs over there are copyrighted under common law copyright and under copyright law, statute law. And a lot of people's been copying and posting my pictures without my permission from my church website. And they're copyrighted. So they're going to have some problems there too. And they act out. They want to be me. These triggered individuals want to be Damon Chief Jones. They want to be the crusader for Jesus. They want to be the crusader for truth. They want to be a journalist. They want to be a reporter. They want to be me. Hey, that's no mad news in here. No mad news. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, my boy Roy. Yep. Hey, if y'all don't know, y'all probably do, but if you don't, he was up at a homeless outreach ministry up in Seattle. And I don't know in the end, but at one time he had I guess 40 or 50, 60 sleeping bags that he had gotten for those people. Some of those people's got real issues. I mean, really, real serious issues, and they go to the shelter and then they don't go. And when it's 10 degrees or 20 degrees or it's snowing outside, if you ain't got a sleeping bag, you could die. I mean, die. Okay? He was helping get sleeping bags for these people. I sent him some funds to help him get some sleeping bags. Some other people sent him some funds to get some sleeping bags. And he about spent half of his week's check on buying sleeping bags and other things to help these people so they didn't die. Because we don't finger point to the homeless. We don't tell the homeless, you're no good. Okay? We don't know how they got there. Okay? But we do know that they're there. And we do know that they needed help. Okay? And he provided services. In other words, he went there as a volunteer and provided services to these people. Okay? Free of charge. He donated his time and his labor. And provided life-saving goods, which was a sleeping bag. So a lot of people are alive that some of these trolls wish were dead, but they're alive thanks to Nomad and the people that contributed. It's very, very, very good. I was very impressed. Nomad has gone through a lot of horrific, traumatic situations in his life, and it's not for me to tell the story. It's for him if he feels like he wants to tell the story, you know? But the point is, he's been through a lot. And I think, you know, he's been forthcoming with that. So, you know, he's a good guy. Went through some bad times, uh, but he and I have talked for hours, and he's a good man and a good heart and a good soul. But life happens, and he's had problems, and he's done everything he could do to correct those problems in his life, and I commend him for that. I love Brother Nomad. I love Brother Patrick. You know, uh, if Patrick, my son, will man up and marry Selena, then I can have a daughter-in-law. And then I guess I could adopt Nomad, make him my other son. You know what I'm saying? God bless y'all. God bless y'all in a great and a mighty way. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that he deliver these trolls, that he give them the emotional support they need. He deliver them from oppressive demons, whatever's bad in their life. You know? Uh, I love y'all. I love y'all. If you return that with hate, I can't help it. Satan come to Jesus in the wilderness, tempted him and tempted him and tempted him. And I'm not Jesus, but the principle remains the same. I'm out here in the wilderness, and y'all are coming to try and tempt me and trigger me. And Jesus sent him away. I'm sending y'all away in that same manner. However, however, Jesus forgives. There's still consequences, but he forgives. I forgive, but there's still consequences. We have to stop these people from hurting and threatening other people. Okay? We're the strong, but even the strongest of the strong is vulnerable. You know? But I love y'all. I am asking you to help us. We can't afford the gas. We can't afford the lodging. We can afford our bills. This doesn't have nothing to do with our personal bills. This is news reporting donations that help us bring the news to you. That lets me and them bring the news to you. And so we can come to a city near you, maybe even your city. This is fantastic. It's awesome. It's great. Uh, do what you can. And I'll do what I'm supposed to do. Y'all don't know it, but I get all these emails from people that says, when you going to do your next video? And it's from trolls because we know their email accounts. And these trolls were trying to trigger me to do a video because they wanted something to lash out at. They needed the fuel. They needed the negative energy. Okay? That comes from Satan. That don't come from God. So, it is what it is. I am who I am. If you love me because of who I am. And if you hate me because of who I am. It doesn't matter. Every man, woman, and child on this planet, the people that love them because of who they are, and they hate them because of who they are. The same reason you love people is the same reason other people hate them. That's why the nation's, on this divided thing. If you talk about President Trump, uh, a lot of people just get triggered just by hearing his name, and they go berserk. I mean, really berserk. Because they can't even deal to hear his name. Then the other side pops up and talks about he's the best thing since George Washington, and he's got the most testicle fortitude. I know it's intestinal fortitude. I said testicle fortitude. I made up my own word again, like George W. Bush. Uh, they'll support him, and they go right on. Well, I guess I said all I can say. No, that's not true. Y'all know I could talk till this time tomorrow. So I've tried to give the trolls their release. I'm the target, and they've targeted me. They've targeted others. We're targeted individuals. And they try and abuse us, and they try and cut off any revenue we might have. They tell outlandish lies to district attorneys and police. Some of them are police. Some of them are judges. Some of them are prosecutors. So, you know, we're bringing a lot of great content to you. A lot of very important news stories that mainstream, sometimes even alternative media doesn't bring to you. It's a very small slice of the pie of news. If you sliced a pizza into 16 pieces, we're one of those 16 pieces. But you need all of it to be the whole pizza to get the big picture of life. So you know, I haven't made a dime on all this. If you count the gas and travels and all this other stuff, I'm in the hole by a big margin. But uh, I believe in what I do. I just don't have an extra few hundred or an extra thousand to go out and travel around every month to go bring you news content. If you want that kind of content, you have to donate to my PayPal. If you want me to do that, I volunteer the time, but you got to pay the bills on the news reporting. You know, uh, so and yes, we've taken a lot of security measures to protect ourselves and our families. David had to hire a bodyguard the other day, uh, and fortunately for me, I know a lot of good cops in the area, and they watch my back. But they're not everywhere all the time. So there is times and there's possibilities that something bad could happen to me or my family. And we've taken a lot of measures to uh, do what we could to protect ourselves and our families. We have family members that are scared out of their wits by these trolls. And of course, now they're going to go, oh, we got power. We've scared these people. Now we got more negative energy. And we can report back to our leader, Hemming, or Merb, or to the family of all this destruction and narcissistic behavior we can bring. We're, we're beating them down. We're going to shut them down. We're going to stop their freedom of religion. We're going to stop their freedom of rights to carry firearms. We're going to stop their rights of free speech. We like free speech, but only our free speech. We don't like their free speech. We like selective speech. And we try and beat people down that don't agree with us. That's a very, very far leftist agenda. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or Independent, you're man or woman. That's what matters to me. So, when you are trolling me and pumping on me, pouncing on me, I know that you're a needy soul. I know you're very needy. The more you pounce on me and the worse you talk about me, the more need you have. They have psychologists and psychiatrists and medical doctors and group counseling, and the church or worship of your choice can help you with these things. You know, you need help. You need more help than I can give you. You're going to have to rely on Jesus Christ. You're going to have to go to a licensed medical physician or a psychologist. You know, our team psychologist, and yes, I said psychologists, plural, have done an in-depth study over the last 6+ months, and they have predicted most of the bad behavior. Uh, and they have really predicted hemming and Merb. They predicted them, I'd say 75 to 90% accuracy. Every once in a while they throw a curveball, and that's what's dangerous. What we don't know, that's what's dangerous. What we do know and what we can predict helps us in our safety. Uh, it is what it is. But look, we really want to volunteer our time to come help you gather the content that you want. If you're here because you want this type of content. Okay? Uh, so we're trying to bring it to you. But I know we live in a day and age where people download movies, music, content for free. FREE, 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 free. They don't want to pay for anything, anything at all. You know, they want free content. They want a free life. Of course, some of these people that's on here are on welfare and they're on food stamps and they're on the government dole. They're on the government handout. But remember, the government don't have no money. The government's broke. They have to squeeze money out of people like me and you to take care of the trolls that ain't got jobs. Now, like Merb and Hemming, they have jobs that pay them money. They do it just because, well, you know why they do it. But anyway, delusions of grandeur, wanting to run a cult, wanting to have mind control over people. Think about this. These people have control over your minds. You're following these people blindly. Over in Germany, the people followed Hitler blindly. You see what happened there? People followed Manson blindly. You see what happened there? So, Patrick Roth 60, Patrick Roth 60 at yahoo.com. Patrick Roth. Hey, Nomad, if you're in here, would you post Patrick's PayPal account? So the good people who want the content, who believe in us and our mission, can give to his PayPal. Look, maybe we just got 15 or 20 people and you drop in $5, $10, $20, whatever. Bam, we could get there. Or, you know, a couple of generous donors that could do 50 or 100 or whatever. Thank you, Nomad. Thank you, Nomad. Absolute nomad, a good man. But a man, just like me and just like other men. We're flawed. We make mistakes. We commit sin. And hey, God said all men, that's not just me, all men are liars that God be the truth. So, in that vein, all men are liars. Only God tells the truth 100% of the time and gives the whole full disclosure of everything. Men don't do that. Okay? How about next time you go to court and they say, we'd like to swear you in, you say, I can't, I'm a liar. God said so. You can't swear me in, I'm a liar. you know, you know. I mean, come on. Come on. Says Patty is definitely a liar. You think so? Well, whoever wrote that he's a liar, remember, you're a liar also. Okay? Everybody's made a comment in here as part of mankind. And God says we're all liars. Oh, I'm trying to see what this says. Hey, that's a good question about the First Amendment audits. Actually, that's a constitutional compliance check. a constitutional compliance check. We are conducting a compliance check to make sure that you're operating within the Constitution. Now, some people, some, have become very, very aggressive, okay? And they're triggered by cameras. They're more triggered with what you're going to do with that footage. And that they're going to be on the TV news or social media, and they're going to have to explain their bad behavior. And if they can't, maybe they lose their cop job or judge job or whatever. And I think that there are people who are not educated in the law and who have a camera and they're out there trying to do this and they don't really know what they're doing. And they don't know the laws, they don't understand the laws, and they don't really understand what they're doing. And so, in some places, in some people, yeah, I think it has gotten out of control with certain people in certain areas. Not the not the well-known auditors. I mean, the bigger names in the auditing community, they do know the law. They have talked to lawyers. They have read the law. Uh, they've done whatever they need to do to make sure that the law is upheld and that the law is reported on. And if they got a good cop, they'll tell them, hey, clean audit. Good. That doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. In fact, Patrick was, I'm trying to think of the name of this town. I can't remember, but he was in it. And so I think it was a lieutenant, but I could be wrong. He come over and I said, I'd hire that man in a heartbeat because he used common sense. He used logic. He tried to figure out a way to do his job so he gets his paycheck and he take care of him and his family, but uh, not to violate Patrick or Selena's rights to their privacy and rights of free movement and rights of religion, rights of auditing, constitutional compliance checks, etc. Okay? So he said, I try and log people in, which probably as far as purposes of them, if they had come and went, there would be no logging, but they stayed around. So he's got supervisors and other people are going to say, well, we need to know who you talk to. Okay, well, I get it. I get it. I understand it. So he just said, what's your names? He didn't ask for ID cards. He just said, uh, who are you? And he said, I'm Patrick. And she said, I'm Selena. And he said, okay. So basically, he's going to go back to his log sheet that he keeps information on during his shift there at the city or the court or whatever is there. And he's going to write a white male, approximately 20 to 23 years of age, white female or Hispanic Latino female, uh, age 20 to 23, was in our center, and there was alarm. They act suspicious, or the people considered them suspicious. I went and interviewed them, determined that there was no problem, and the alarm was dispelled, and they identified as Patrick and Selena, and that's what he put in his report. Okay, I used to do some similar things to that. I mean, the principle is what I'm talking about. Uh, I would just try and ask somebody, hey, can I talk to you? Well, some people will stonewall this, say, I don't talk to the cops. Okay, that's fine. you know, and I would just simply watch them and observe them at a distance and let them do their thing. And if they didn't do nothing wrong, then I just wrote, they refused to identify. Boom. Okay, I got it. So, okay, I'm fixing to wrap this baby up. I got other places to go and things to do because, unlike some of the trolls, I have a life. I have a family and I have a church to run. And You remember, if you allow people to attack me and my family and my church, guess who's next? In Germany, they went and got one kind of person, one kind of man or woman, right? And so they got them. Nobody said nothing. Then they come back and got the next group of people, and nobody said nothing. Then they went back and got the next group of people, and nobody said nothing. And then when they came for me, there was nobody to stand up for me because they was all in prison or jails. So I didn't no longer had my freedoms or liberties. So, oh, are you a fatophobia? You have a phobia about people that weigh more than you would like them to weigh? Must be nice being on the right hand of God and making decisions. Of course, God wouldn't do that stuff. Well, I'm trying to get Patrick to man up and marry Selena so I'll have a son and a daughter-in-law. I want her to be my daughter-in-law very badly. She's tough as nails. And I want to see Brother Nomad and adopt him to be my other son. And just add to my family. Says, wouldn't God want you to be truthful? Yeah, wouldn't he want you to be truthful also? And God said we're liars and we're sinners and the flesh is rotten. God's after our souls. So if we captain our bodies, the temple, correctly, then we'll get there. And I'm not going to go into my life and medical history, but there are reasons that I weigh as much as I do. But I'm happy. I'm a servant of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And, we are born into a world of sin. We come in innocent, but we're born into a world of sin that's been going on since Adam and Eve. And things have only gotten worse. I'm telling you, I know people that put their mouth on the servants of God. And these people have had very, 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 very bad natural and supernatural consequences in their lives because of putting their mouth on the man of God. I have seen the results of this for other people and other ministers. You don't know what goes on in our lives. You only tell you, they only tell you what other people think you want to hear. Okay, it's not the truth. It says Patrick is a plague. An auditing plague? Like he's converting other people to go learn their constitution, learn their rights? I guess that's what you mean. Uh, but I'm asking you all to pray for me and my family, David and his family, and Patrick and Selena and all of our families. And I pray for all of you and your families. You know, I love y'all. I really, really love y'all. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what else to say except send out my love. Jesus sent out his love and they crucified him on a cross at Calvary. So, I may be murdered one day for standing up for Christ. But if my life is going to be taken and I'm going to be killed, I'd rather be killed for loving Jesus Christ and acknowledge him as my Lord and Savior than any other reason in the world. I want to die in the arms of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I love Jesus. I'm his servant and I'm his minister. You know, why does the world have to be filled with hate? Why does the world have to be filled with people hurting other people mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially? Why do people have to judge people so harshly? Why why is this the way it is? I love people. I don't come on here and report every time that there's a homeless man or woman or a family in need that me and my family have gone and bought groceries for and taken it to them. I don't come on here and report every time I've helped somebody with a mental or physical ailment and I've taken them to the doctor. Because at that point, I think I'm kind of bragging on myself, being braggadocious in a haughty spirit. And God don't like it. God don't like that at all. Now, if I'm trying to help somebody and I need some help to help them, okay, I'm asking for help. If I just, in general, just tell you some information about some things that me or my church is doing to help people, then I'm letting you know what your donations are going towards. That's okay, so long as it's not about me. None of this is about me. People have tried to make it about me. People have tried to make it about Patrick or Selena or David or Nomad or P&P or whomever. Okay? They tried to make it about the reporter versus the actual news or the church or whatever it is. Uh, that's very sad because you're making personal attacks on people. Uh, you know, if I get money in my PayPal, uh, I went and got some law books with some of them. Went and got some books for the church. Went and got. I've traveled. I've done whatever the people that gave me the money, whatever they wanted me to do with it, or if they gave me as I seen fit. You know, it's just a donation to do whatever. Uh, then I went and did things for the church and for people. Uh, there's a man that was in a lot of need, and he's a good man, and he's worked all his life, and he wound up in some really bad situations, physically and mentally, and it took more than $2,000 to help that man get on his feet. But our church helped him get back on his feet, and the biggest majority of that had to come out of our family's funds. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it a bit. If I leave this world right with Jesus, that's what's important. That's what's important. Well, I'm gonna have to go. My one of my family members is calling, and they really need me to talk to them. So I'm gonna have to go. Thank you. God bless you, and have a great day. May God bless you in a great and a mighty way. I'm here. I'm gonna see what y'all do. God bless you. God bless you, and God bless you. In the name of Jesus Christ, and covered by His blood at Calvary's cross. May y'all all be saved, and may you lead a great and a good life.